what is going on in this part of the Srimad Bhagavatam is that the demons have overtaken the demigod's kingdom, and Aditi, who is the mother of the demigods, was feeling morose because the demons had taken over her son's kingdom and all their property and all their wealth and opulence. So her husband Kashyapa recommended that he first preached to her about material loss and things like that, and then ultimately he said you should perform this ceremony for the pleasing the Lord, Lord Vishnu, called the Payovrata ceremony. And so Aditi performed this ceremony, which involved her to perform many austerities, meditation, and also meditating on the Lord. And ultimately, the Lord appeared to her, and Aditi offered the Lord prayers, as we heard previously in this chapter. And then the Lord spoke to her, and the Lord told her that I know that you're feeling very morose because of your sons not being able to see them, and they're getting stolen of they all their wealth was stolen, and their kingdom. So I will I will become your son. And so Kashyapa then the Lord appeared in within Kashyapa, and then Kashyapa gave Aditi the Lord within her womb. And then now we are at the section where Lord Brahma is speaking, because he has understood that the Lord has appeared now in the womb of Aditi. And so these are his prayers that we are listening to, so that's starting from the text 25 through 28. So there's some really nice points that Lord Brahma is making in his prayers that we can all benefit from. So I will try to break down the different points from his prayers. So he starts out talking about the Lord is within everyone's heart. So there are many verses in the Shastras that support this, the Lord being in the heart. So in the Bhagavad Gita, we know 1861, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hridesh Arjuna Tisthati Brahmayam Sarva Bhutani Yantra Rudhani Maya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, or Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities, who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. So here it described the Lord is sitting within the heart of all living entities. We hear in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and one of the purports, Srila Prabhupada describes how the living entity and the Lord are like are like birds, two birds sitting on a tree. I believe this is a Puranic story that he's quoting in the purport, that the living entity is one bird who is constantly looking at different fruits and looking other way, and the Lord is the other bird who is looking at the soul, and who is wondering when that bird will look towards him. But the other bird is simply looking for different fruits and different ways to gratify himself. So this is actually our situation in the world. That even though the Lord is within our heart, we are not looking towards him. The Lord is actually waiting to look. The Lord, Srila Prabhupada describes the Lord being Anumanta and Upadrishta. Anumanta and Upadrishta means the witnesser and the permitter. The Lord is the witness of all of our activities, and he's the permitter. Nothing, not a blade of grass moves without the Lord's permission, or the Lord's the permission of the Lord, and the will of the Lord. So from time immemorial, we have been Anadi Bahirmukh. Bahir means other, in another way, and Mukh, our face, has been turned away from the Lord from time immemorial. So this whole Krishna consciousness process, this devotional life, this bhakti, is for actually turning towards the Lord within our heart. As we know, the Lord, it comes in three aspects: Brahmeti, Bhagavaniti, Paramatmiti Bhagavaniti Shabdate, this that the Lord is in his localized aspect as Paramatma, as the all-pervading Brahman, and also in his in the Bhagavan feature, which is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why when Prabhupada talks so much about the Supreme Personality, this is the highest conception of God, his personality, a person. God is a person. So I was thinking about this, and then I was also thinking about my son, Charu Gopinath, who's now 2 months old. The only thing he can do now, he can move his head. He move his hands and legs a little bit, but he does move his head. So he'll follow you across the room if you're walking across. So this made me think of our situation as well. We have this minute free will to move our head towards Krishna. So instead of, Bahirmukh, we have to move our face toward Krishna. But since time immemorial, we have been away, our faces have been moving our face away from Krishna. Krishna Bulya Jeev Bhogavan Chakare Pasate Mayatare Japatya Dhare. Krishna Bulya Jeev, those who have forgotten Krishna or only interested in material sense gratification and material nature. And therefore Maya is giving Japatya Dharid. Maya is beating them, beating us very severely, yet we don't look towards Krishna. So this is a nice lesson for us, that we have to move our face toward Krishna. And then Lord Brahma talks, so a few more verses talking about the all-pervasiveness of Lord, or the Lord being within everyone's heart. This is 629 Bhagavad Gita. Sarva bhutastam atmanam sarva bhutani chatmani ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshana. A true yogi observes me in all beings and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere. So this is talking about the devotee, the Krishna conscious person, sees the Lord within the heart of everyone, and also sees everyone within the Lord. So this reminds us of the verse of Vidya Vinay Sampane Brahmane Gavihasni, that a self-realized soul sees with equal vision all the different entities, a Brahmana, a Shudra, the elephant, the dog eater, everyone he sees, because he sees the Lord within the heart of all these living entities. Prabhupada has a wonderful purport of this verse 629. The individual soul is also situated in the individual heart, but he is not present in all hearts, meaning that we have our individual soul, and we're also we are within our individual heart, but we're not within the heart of everyone like the Lord is. That is the distinction between the individual soul and the super soul. One who is not factually in the practice of yoga cannot see so clearly. A Krishna conscious person can see Krishna in the heart of a believer and the non-believer. So this is actually a tall order for all of us to follow, that we need to see Krishna in the heart of everyone, even those who wrong us, even those who offend us, even those who are against us, who are enemies, so to say. Krishna is within the heart also. So this is a few lessons from the prayers of Lord Brahma. Another verse in the Bhagavad Gita, 9:4. Mayata tamidam sarvam jagad avyaktamurtina. This is a very famous verse. Matstani sarva bhutani na chaham tesya avastita. By me, in my unmanifested form, the entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Prabhupada talks in the purport. Yet one should not conclude that because he is spread all over, he has lost his personal existence. To refute such an argument, the Lord says, I am everywhere and everything is in me, but I am still aloof. For example, a king heads a government, which is but the manifestation of the king's energy. The different governmental departments are nothing but the energies of the king, and each department is resting on the king's power. But still, one cannot expect the king to be present in every department personally. This is a crude example. So this is the example Prabhupada is giving is of the king. He has his energies, which are performing all the different workings of the kingdom. Yet the king is not personally present there in everything that's going on. Yet the Lord is present everywhere in what's happening, but his energies are performing his activities. Maya dakshina prakriti sacharacharam. The Lord's energies are actually performing all the different workings. He does not have to perform them himself. The Lord is simply enjoying. The Lord enjoys. His energies are what performs all these different activities of the universe, whether it's creation, dissolution, maintenance, all these things that the Lord that is happening within the universe is happening according to his energies. And then Lord Brahma goes on to say, the Lord of the Transcendental is controller of the three modes of material nature. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again and again. In the Bhagavad Gita, this is described in 9.5. Nacha matstani bhutani pashyame yogam aishwaram bhuta brinna cha bhutasto mahatma bhuta bhavana. And yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, I am not a part of this cosmic manifestation, for myself is the very source of creation. Sorry, this is I'm talking about the 26th verse of our verses today, that all the three worlds reside in your navel, yet you are above the three worlds. So the Lord is aloof from all these three worlds and what's going on in the universe. So in the purport, Prabhupada says, the Lord says that everything is resting in him, matstani sarvabhutani. This should not be misunderstood. The Lord is not directly concerned with the maintenance and sustenance of this material manifestation. Sometimes we see a picture of Atlas holding the globe on his shoulders. He seems to be very tired, holding this great earthly planet. Such an image should not be entertained in connection with Krishna upholding this created universe. So he's talking about Atlas. We see the depiction of Atlas. He's holding up the world, and he's sweating and holding it, and he's feeling a lot of tiredness because of that. This is not how Krishna is maintaining the world. The Lord is maintaining this world so perfectly through his different energies, yet he is aloof from them. He says that although everything is resting on him, he is aloof. Therefore, the Lord says, although they are situated on my inconceivable energy, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I am aloof from them. This is the inconceivable opulence of the Lord. So the Lord is performing all his wonderful pastimes, and all these different things due to his energies are being maintained. This is another part of the prayer of Lord Brahma. Then Lord Brahma goes on to say, formerly you appeared as the son of Prishni. To you, the Supreme Creator, who are understood only through Vedic knowledge, I offer my respectful obeisances. So the son of Prishni. This is an interesting point. So before the Lord appeared as Vamana to Aditi and Kashyapa in this particular pastime, previously he came as Prishni Garbha, as the son of Prishni and Sutapa. So in this point, Srila Jiva Goswami in the Krishna Sandarbha talks about how when the Lord came and appeared to Devaki and Vasudeva in the jail cell, when he appeared as Lord Krishna, as Janmashtami, we celebrate Janmashtami. When he appeared as Lord Krishna, he told Devaki that you wanted me to be your son, because Devaki was actually Aditi in her previous life, and in the previous life before that, she was Prishni. So then Krishna is telling Vasudeva and Devaki, I appeared as your son Prishnigarbha, and then Vamana, and now I'm appearing as Krishna, Sri Krishna, in this jail cell to be your son. But the point is, Jiva Goswami says that he appeared as the partial manifestation, the partial expansion of Krishna in Prishnigarbha and Vamana, but now he was actually appearing as in his full opulence as Swayam Bhagavan Krishna to Devaki and Vasudev. So this is a wonderful point that is being presented here, that Krishna appeared as in his full opulence with in the jail cell to Devaki and Vasudev. Then Lord Brahma goes on to talk about, "O my Lord, you are the beginning, the manifestation, the ultimate dissolution of the three worlds." So as we know, Brahma, the creator, and Lord Vishnu, the maintainer, and Shambhu, or Lord Shiva, the destroyer, the Lord is appearing. These are the energies also. These are the cabinet members of the Lord, that Krishna, that is manifesting from Krishna, who are also doing all these different things, such as the maintenance of the three worlds. And then Lord Brahma says, "And you are celebrated in the Vedas as the reservoir of unlimited potencies, Supreme Person. O my Lord, as waves attract branches and leaves that have fallen into deep water, you, the Supreme Eternal Time Factor, attract everything in this universe." So then Prabhupada's talking about time. So there's a few verses I'd like to present about the Lord as time. So the first being in the fourth canto, the 24th chapter, verse 56. This is in the story of the Prachetas. When they were performing austerities, Lord Shiva appeared to them, and Lord Shiva presented them with prayers. And this chapter is the prayers of Lord Shiva to Lord Vishnu. And Lord Shiva talks about time. Simply by expansion of his eyebrows, invincible time personified can immediately vanquish the entire universe. However, formidable time does not approach a devotee who has taken complete shelter at your lotus feet. And then Prabhupada's purport, he's talking about that the Lord appears as death, mrityu sarvaharas chaham, all devouring death. But death and time cannot take away the bhakti or the devotional service that a devotee has performed. So actually, devotee should not be afraid of death, because a devotee is always interested in performing activities that are eternal. He says, all the activities of the karmis and jnanis, which have no touch of devotional service, are spoiled in due course of time. The material success of karmis is destined to be destroyed. Similarly, the impersonal realization attained by the jnanis is also destroyed in the course of time. So the karmis, the materialists, their activities are destroyed ultimately by time, because their activities are mainly having to do with this world and sense gratification and selfishness. These are not actually activities that are eternal. The activities of bhakti are eternal, as we know. We're making deposits into our spiritual bank account, and this bank account does not have any expiration. These things don't expire. They don't get destroyed by time. And the jnanis, who want to merge into the Brahman effulgence of the Lord, they ultimately, because of the temporary nature of their, I would say, like existence in that Brahma Jyoti, they ultimately have to fall down. The verse, Aryuya Krichena Param Padam Tata Patantya Do Nidita Yusmad Angraya, that they go and they merge into the Brahma Jyoti, but ultimately they have to fall down. This is not how the devotees are, though. Devotees are not are not affected by this time factor. There's another verse that's very famous, which also describes this. Ayur harati vaipumsam. This is in the second canto, third chapter, 17th verse. Ayur harati vaipumsam udyan astam chayanaso tasyarta yat shano nita uttama shloka vartaya. Both by the rising and setting, the sun decreases the duration of life of everyone, except one who utilizes the time by discussing topics of the all-good personality of Godhead. Both by the rising and the setting of the sun. I'm looking out the window here and I see the sun. There's a lot of fog, but the sun is like coming through the fog. By the rising and the setting of the sun, we are seeing the sun rising and setting every single day. The time is just moving. I remember when I was in my 20s and now I'm halfway to 40. Where has the time gone? So what the lesson that's giving us, that one who utilizes their time for discussing the amazing pastimes and glories of the Lord, this time factor does not affect them. Prabhupada talks in the purport, this verse indirectly confirms the greater importance of utilizing the human form of life to realize our lost relationship with the Supreme Lord by acceleration of devotional service. Time and tide wait for no man. So the time indicated by the sunrise and sunset will be uselessly wasted if such time is not properly utilized for realizing identification of spiritual values. Even a fraction of the duration of life wasted cannot be compensated by any amount of gold. Srila Prabhupada talks about this story of how this dying man who was very rich, he had so much money, the doctors came to him and said, "Sir, you're dying." And he said, no, I will give you so much money. I have to witness the wedding of my daughter. Please give me a little bit more time. The doctor said, "We can't give you more time. It's over." And this is the point is that with unlimited amounts of money, even a second of time cannot be bought back. That's just so amazing to me. This is such an amazing point. So the point here is that if we utilize our time properly, then this time factor cannot affect us. Now, what is utilizing time properly? I don't use my time properly. I'm speaking to myself. I'm preaching to myself here that we have to utilize our time in discussing the activities of the Lord, not discussing the activities of what's going on in the world right now. This kind of talking about what's going on in the world right now, this is the talking of the crows, the Srimad Bhagavatam says. This is the things the crows are interested in, garbage. But the swans, the hamsas, the paramahamsas, they are interested in the talks of the Lord. Now there's another beautiful verse in the 10th canto. Nivritta tarise rupagiya manad bhavav sadat chotra manobhiramat ka uttama shloka gunanuvadat puman virajeta vina pashuganat. Please listen to this amazing verse, the translation. Glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is performed in the Parampara system. That is, it is conveyed from spiritual master to disciple. Now this is the point. Such glorification is relished by those no longer interested in the false, temporary glorification of this cosmic manifestation. Descriptions of the Lord are the right medicine for the conditioned soul undergoing repeated birth and death. Therefore, who will cease hearing such glorification of the Lord except a butcher or one who is killing his own self? These are very strong words from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Who will not hear these activities or glorification or pastimes of the Lord? One who is killing oneself. What does that mean, killing oneself? One who is too much attracted to the worldly news or the worldly activities of this world. This is actually one who is killing themselves. They're killing themselves because the time is passing. Ayur harati vaipumsam. The sun is rising and setting. Time is going, yet they are not interested in the glorification of the Lord. I'm speaking to myself. This is a wake-up call. This should be a wake-up call to all of us. We all remember when we were younger, and now we are at our current point. How much have we become attracted to the activities of the Lord, hearing the glorification of the Lord, performing devotional activities? This is a barometer of our devotional service. How much we are unattracted to material nature, material talks, mundane talks, and how much we are attracted to spiritual life, spiritual talks of the Supreme Lord, pastimes of the Lord. This should be our thermometer, so to say, as we get older and we continue through our life. We should always yearly or daily even reassess, how much am I being attracted to the Lord's pastimes, and how can I become more attracted? And how can one become more attracted? To hear more of these pastimes and these and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, slowly through the cleansing of the heart, we will be attracted to these things. As it says in the Upadeshamrita, that Shat Krishna Nama Charitari Siptabhya Vidya, it likens the sadhaka to the jaundiced person. A jaundiced person cannot taste the sweetness of sugar candy or sugar. Yet, what is the way to become free from jaundice is to continually to take that sugar candy. And then as time goes on, this sweetness will come. And so in the pastimes of the Lord, in the kirtan of the Lord, in the chanting the Harinam, these things we have to continually do day after day. And by the grace of the Lord, he will reveal himself to us, and we will taste that sweetness. We have to have that faith. While being patient, as it says in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the verse of patiently waiting for the Lord's mercy to come and performing our duties, performing our activities. This is the person who is actually fit for liberation. One who is patiently waiting for the Lord to bestow them mercy. So I'd like to open up for discussion. The main point I'd like to come across here is that in Lord Brahma's prayers is that he at the end he talks about the Lord as time. And so we have to use, I take this as we have to use our time wisely. By this rising and setting of the sun, our time is going, yet time cannot affect the devotee who is continually trying to become attracted and who is discussing the pastimes of the Lord, the glories of the Lord, and performing spiritual life. So with that, I'd like to ask for any questions or discussion points. Thank you for giving me a chance to speak. Hare Krishna.
Hi Krishna, thank you so much, Namarasa Prabhu. A brilliant presentation based on Shastras. Your style is like very refreshing. I I remember seeing a question here. It got like a little bit drowned. Let me just check. Okay, I got a personal. Okay, anonymous. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be anonymous. It was sent to me on a personal chat.
Sure.
How does a devotee apply this knowledge of God's all pervasiveness in her life, in his or her life?
God's all pervasiveness. I mean, we see in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord talks about his opulences, and he is this, of the aquatics, he's the shark, of the mountains, he's the Himalayas. I think that's what he says. So the Lord describes these different things. So whenever we are looking at different things, we can be reminded of the Lord, the all pervasiveness of the Lord. The Lord is everywhere. I mean, that's how I would answer that question. The Lord is. We have to understand not just Krishna as the the blue boy who is playing the flute, and with his cowherd boys and the gopis. This is the ultimate. This is the highest concept of the Lord. But also we have to remember that the Lord is within the heart of all the living entities. This is like the basic. This is the Bhagavad Gita is the ABCs of Krishna consciousness. First, we have to understand this. First, we have to be reminded of these points first. That's how I would answer the Lord's all pervasiveness.
Thank you, bro.
I don't know if anyone wants to add anything to that. I don't know if that was a satisfactory answer.
I'm unmuting everyone. Like if they want to add comments or questions, they can surely do.
Sure.
Thank you so much, bro. And also here I see another question on the chat box.
Yes.
Would you like to read, or you want me to read?
I am looking for it. Okay, so the
The
two
last
birds in the tree, that was in the Mundaka Upanishad. Yeah, thank you, Venkata Bhadraprabhu.
The question is at the end of the chat.
Oh, it's at the end? Okay.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for... Okay. Thank you for enlightening me to remember the Lord at every moment without wasting time, but I get entangled in daily routine where I feel guilty that I'm neglecting Krishna. How can I overcome this? Oh, I mean, you and all of us, we are... The main thing is we have to try. We have to always try. We always have to be true to ourselves. Are we trying to, remember Krishna? And Krishna, as something Gauravani Prabhu told me that was really interesting, and I really like that point that I remember, is that Krishna is time. So if we try to perform our spiritual activities, he will make time for everything else, because he is time. He will make time for all these other activities we have to perform, our duties. And again, I also always give this practical example of the bucket. And if you have some rocks and some sand, if you wanna do the kind of like do the sand. The sand is your activity, different activities. The rocks are the more important activities. So if you want to put sand first and then put the rocks, you're not going to fill it. You're not going to fill the bucket. You're not going to be able to put everything into the bucket. But if you put the rocks first and then you put the sand will go in between all the rocks. So this is an example of try to perform your devotional activities first before you do anything. And then Krishna will make arrangements that you'll be able to perform your daily different activities. I mean, I understand it's hard. Life as a grihastha is very hard. Or life as a devotee is very hard. You're required to perform all these different activities. You have to chant, you have to read, you have to take care of your family, you have to take care of your economic development, you have to do all these different things. But if you have faith that these activities are going to help you in your life to stay sane, to stay happy, if you give importance to these things, Krishna will make the arrangements that you will be able to perform them. And you have to try. It's a lot of our effort is involved in this. Our free will. We have the free will to put our face toward Krishna, or to bahirmukt, or to make our face away from Krishna. So that choice is given to us on a daily basis. So, any other questions?
I see a comment by Venkat Bhattaprabhu. Venkat Bhattaprabhu, would you like to unmute and say something? Add?
The ironic thing is that when we feel guilty for wasting time and neglecting Krishna, we end up...
Oh, sorry, Hare Krishna. I think it ended up cutting off the message, but I was just a minor note that I can definitely relate to, feeling guilty. But I think one of the ironic things is that sometimes when we feel guilty and we become so much fixed in that guilt that ironically we end up spending more time in the guilt, and we end up neglecting Krishna because now our consciousness is, in our guilt and our self-pity. So I really appreciate Namji, your point about it being a wake-up call. I think that's a great way of looking at it. Like a wake-up call is there to get us to startle us into doing what we're supposed to be doing. But if if we spend the whole time just thinking about, oh, I'm so terrible, I wasted so much time already, I'm so fallen, whatever, then it's sort of like wasting more time instead of just taking that wake-up call.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I mean, it's definitely a mindset that you have to have, that even in secular self-help people, they always talk about, let's look forward, don't look back so much. What you have control over in this very moment in time, this present time, is what you have control over. You don't really have control over the past, or you don't really have control over the far future. You have control over in your present right now. So what in this time are you going to become guilty about what you did or what you didn't do? Or are you going to use that time properly? In this present moment, you have control. So, we don't have much control, really. We're controlled a lot by, material nature is controlling us like anything. But we do have as I said, control in our present moment to be either Bahirmukh or our face turned toward Krishna. Thank you for that. Gaur Kumar Prabhu has a comment about sense gratification and guilt. Having awakened faith in the narrations of my glories, being disgusted with all material activities, knowing that all sense gratification leads to misery, but still being unable to renounce all sense enjoyment, my devotee should remain happy and worship me with great faith and conviction. Even though he is sometimes engaged in sense enjoyment, my devotee knows that all sense gratification leads to a miserable result, and he sincerely repents such activities. Beautiful verse. 11, 20, 27, and 28.
There was also a question in the in between, like by Murli Gopal Prabhu.
Sure.
He was asking, like, in what way are the devotees not affected by time?
In what way are devotees not affected by time? We're not affected by time in the way. Okay, we have 2 minutes. Because the time that we do use is utilized. The time that the pure devotees use are utilized for discussing the activities of the Lord, and this is for ultimate benefit. Therefore, they're not affected by time. Of course, the devotee gets old and in that way is affected by time, but the way time is that time is taking away our life and taking away our opportunity. But if the devotee uses the opportunity for discussing the pastimes of the Lord, the glories of the Lord, then the time cannot take away this opportunity. This opportunity is utilized to its best potential, so to say, I would say.